Okay, I think we're good here. Yeah, so good afternoon, everyone. So I think hope you had a good week. And last time we connected over this topic of Phoenix project, and we had went through the chapter one, which Dipti delivered. So thanks, Dipti, for setting up the stage. So I'll start with a quick recap of what we went through in the last session. Okay, so we all talks about we came to know about certain characters. So Bill Palmer was a main character who was the director of a mid-range technology operations firm, and he's responsible for some full functioning of his IT group at his company. And Bill is like Bill gets a call from the HR, who is the VP in charge, Laura Beck, and so Bill is initially he is worried that like why this call, why suddenly HR has call me on like off day, and like maybe I have done something wrong. So he has this lot of questions in his mind, but then he finally asks her also what is this about, and then she kind of tells him, okay, this is nothing about escalation and all. You just come over to my office and then we can discuss. So finally, Bill and Laura they meet at Laura's office, where Laura gives him news that Luke and Damon, who were the previous employees with the company, they have decided to leave. And then now Bill has been appointed as the new VP of IT operations. So this is kind of a surprising news for Bill, because he was not expecting the promotion all of a sudden. And uh, the seniors with whom he used to work, all of a sudden they leaving the company. So it's like and not creating right scenarios for him, and he's not able to understand why the situation has occurred, where the seniors are planning to leave the organization. To which HR responds that they are leaving for fulfilling their personal aspirations, something like that. So the typical HR slag, where they hide the details and they just try to give the company specific tags to that. So so that discussion gets over, but Bill still is not ready for the promotion. And then finally he tells Laura that he's not ready for the promotion, and he like he would like to continue with his old role itself, which is quite challenging, and he's loving it. But Laura says that that's come directly from Steve Masters, who is the CEO, and he has chosen Bill to be the new VP of IT operations, so he cannot deny that. And Steve would be the better person to go and discuss about the promotion. So Laura calls in Steve to check if he's available, and then he takes Bill to for the meeting with Steve, where we get introduced to one more person, who is Stacy, who is working with Steve. I think she's taking care of most of her work, and Bill goes and meets this guy Steve, who is the CEO, and then he tells him that he's not ready for this new role, and he's already working he's already working in his current role, and that current role is also very important to get this Phoenix project done, and so he needs to be there to complete the work done. And he promises Steve that he will look for new candidates, good candidates who will be suitable for this role. But Steve is not assured of that, and he has made his mind, and he kind of somehow persuades Bill to accept this role of the VP of IT operations, and he kind of blackmails him with certain technologies that uh, this is for company's stake, for company survival, and I'm counting on you. So then Bill somehow he accepts that, and then he says, okay, you can count on me, and then he accepts the role of this VP of IT operations. And after that, the next surprise comes to Bill is that Steve hands over him the current issue which is going on in the company, which is the payroll run, which was failing. And then that sets up the first chapter, where now, okay, Bill he accepts the role of the VP of IT operations, and now he is into the issue which is currently running and which is on a high priority. So that ends the first chapter. So now we'll go to second chapter. Okay, so chapter 2. So Bill comes out of that discussion with Steve, and then Stacy asks Bill, how did it go in there? And then they have a discussion where Bill is trying to tell her that how I'm not sure how did he persuaded me to get this role, and Stacy is telling that he's very persuasive. Steve is very persuasive, and he's kind person, and I have worked with him for almost 10 years, and he's very good at this, like persuading people. So after that, Bill asks, and then Stacy tells Bill if she can help him with something. Then Bill responds that okay, there's an issue going on, the urgent payroll issue, and can you just tell me if Dick Landry is on third floor. So after that, Stacy, she's ready, and she hands a post-it note straight away to Bill with all the details, with the office location, phone numbers, and everything of Dick Landry. And to this, Bill is very grateful, and he thanks her, and then he dials in to Dick, and Dick receives the call, and then he answers gruffly, uh, and then Bill introduces that I'm Bill Palmer, where Steve had just made me the new VP of IT operations, and then Dick congratulates him. Okay, and then straight away he gets into the issue without spending much time on how, when, what of the promotion. He just tells that okay, there's a payroll regularity, and we when can you come to my office right away? And to which Bill responds, I can come right away. And then he starts walking to the third floor where the finance and accounting team is sitting, which Dick is on the third floor of this meeting. And so as soon as Bill reaches the third floor, uh, Dick is talking to someone on the phone, and he, while just answering the phone, he just asks Bill if he's from the IT, and then to which Bill says, "Yeah, I'm from IT," and Dick suddenly hangs up the call which he is on currently, and then they starts discussing about the situation which happened recently about the payroll issue, with which Dick responds that we are in a deep kimchi. It's like in yesterday's payroll run, most of the records of, like, all of the records of the Harley employees went missing, and we are pretty damned. And he's telling that he's pretty sure that it's an IT issue, and this will screw up everything, and this screw up from us from paying the employees, violating countless labor laws, and no doubt the union is going to scream bloody murder. So right now they are in a very deep terrific situation where they are already late, and they are running behind in paying their employees because of this IT issue where the data for the Harley employees is missing. Then Dick's manager, who's Anne, who is working on this issue currently. So Dick tells Bill, let's go and meet Anne, who is currently working on this issue since afternoon. And both they start walking into the conference room where Anne is sitting. So in the conference room, there are basically two ladies sitting there. One is old, which is around 45 years old, and who is working on some whiteboard with flow charts and a lot of tabulated numbers. And one other one is in her early 30s, uh, working on a laptop, and to which okay, so here Anne is expressing frustration where, like, we're not much into the issue, and I'm afraid we're almost certain that this is an IT issue, and the upstream timekeeping systems and all of the early factory worker records got screwed up in the last upload. So Dick interrupts in between, and he tells, okay, this is Bill from IT. He's been assigned to fix this mess or try trying, is what I think he said. So to which Bill says, okay, hi guys, I have been appointed as a new IT head of IT operations, and can you tell me from start what's the issue and what is the problem you're facing? So Anne points them to the flowchart, which she was doing some analysis over that, and so she kind of gives a brief about, okay, so our financial system gets payroll data from different applications, and then we roll up data, and then we roll up the salary and the early personal data with all the wages and taxes, and then we come up with this number. And she tells that this is not easy, looks sounds easy, but it's a very extreme complex application. And to make sure that everything is working fine, they finally do a check of like summarizing numbers with the detailed number from each division. So every maybe every payroll, end of every payroll period, they do this matching of numbers, so that they make sure that data is correct. And so here Bill is like trying to note down things, what's happening, what is the issue, and to which and says that they've been doing this manually, but then IT gave them a program to they used to do the corrections manually if there were any issues, but IT gave us a program which just to do the just to automate the process. And so that also there's a perspective that they're thinking that maybe IT gave the program because people should not bother them anymore, and then the program is there and the program will take care of everything, and there'll be no manual intervention anymore. So which Bill says that okay, this manually updating the the payroll data outside the payroll application is something which is not correct, and it's error prone and dangerous. And maybe someone might get the data on USB drive or email it outside the organization, which will like potential to lose the sensitive data outside the organization. So to which Bill says, okay, so right now data for all the salaried employees is correct, and he just confirms that data for all the salaried employees is okay. So to which Anne replies, yes, data for salaried employees is okay, but data only for the hourly employees is screwed up. So yeah, again she replies, yes, only for the hourly employees the data is not correct, but for the salaried employees it's correct. So now Bill understands, okay, this might be some issue with the application, because data for one of the uh, component is correct, and for other component it's not working correctly. So Bill asks them if we have any backup plan to get this corrected before we get into the actual fixing of the issue. So to which Rick says, okay, we are currently running late, and it's like 5 until 5 p.m. we have to roll out all the payments. Otherwise, we have to send the paper checks to all the FedEx, maybe some third party vendors, so to distribute the paychecks to the employees, which will be like a lot of time consuming activity. To which Anne says that we have outsourced our payroll processing. So they have given the payroll processing to third party vendor, and at each pay period they upload the payroll data to them, which they then process. So in worst case, maybe what she's suggesting, that we can download the previous copy of the payroll run and then modify it and then re-upload it, and that's how we can overcome the situation by doing a tactical fix, and we can look at the permanent fix later period of time. So the tactical fix, but then they're not sure if how many hours the employees have worked for, and maybe there's a risk that they may underpay them, or they overpay them. So overpay them would be fine, but accidentally underpaying them would be a problem. So they have this one option where they trying to upload a previous payroll run, but that option again is full of problems. So basically they stick to getting the application corrected, and then if that is not working out, then maybe they will look at the other option of correcting the data manually or uploading that payroll check. So basically they discuss about the two lousy options here. One would like, we could really maybe Rick says that we could also delay our payroll system until we have correct data, but we can't do this even if we are a day late. So because there are some union stepping in, and that's why they don't want to go with the option of dealing the payroll data. So only option left was getting something to the employees, even if it's incorrect, and maybe they can adjust that data in the next payroll run. So, and to that, Dick says that if we're doing any changes to the financial reporting, so we have to make entry in our general ledger, and the general ledger entries would be auditors will be looking at that. And for the SOX 404, SOX 404, which is the Sarbanes-Oxley Act of 2002, which the Congress had enacted in response to the accounting failures at some certain company, which means that the CEO and CFO have to personally sign their names, attesting that the company's financial statements are accurate. So also they're fearing that, okay, if they do any changes to their general ledger, and if the auditors get caught of that, so they would be in a deep trouble, and then they have to get many permissions and all. So based on the communication, what Bill suggests that, okay, uh, he recommends that we continue to plan for the worst, and we fully document the plan B. The plan B is getting something to the employees, even if it's more or less, just not looking at the number of hours they have worked on, just giving them some amount, and maybe they correct that in the next payroll run. And they have time to, so they decide that, okay, we'll wait till 3 p.m. and before making a decision to go with the plan B, or so what we should do basically. So they have a deadline of 3 p.m. and Bill leaves from there, and he is now okay. He's feeling better that, okay, he understands the situation, and now he can go and look at what part of the payroll functionality has broken. And while walking the streets down, Bill is checking if Steve has sent any communication of he being promoted to the VP of the operations team, which luckily which Steve has not done. And Bill is thinking, okay, Wes Davis and Patty Mackey, who are working as a peers with Bill, will suddenly be the will he be the manager to them? And Steve has still not sent any communication, so he's just, this is like kind of sarcastically thanks Steve, and he starts walking to his building, the building 7, where he's working. And he now describes the building 7 kind of old setup, and it's look old and neglected. So he went goes there, and he is headed to the network operations center, where he's meeting Wes and Patty, who are his peers, but now they will be reporting to him and will be his primary manager. So Wes is the director of distributed systems, and he's a technical guy. He's responsible for over thousands of servers. Patty is director of IT service support. She owns all the level 1, level 2 help desk technicians. So this is a distribution. He describes the author here describes who is Wes and who is Patty. So here are the roles of Wes and Patty. So they are working with Bill, and suddenly they'll be reporting to him. So Bill walks through the NOC setup, where the obvious, the natural cubicles are placed, and people are sitting level 1, level 2 people are sitting at 3 rows of workstations is there, and it's like looking like a mission control Apollo 13, and kind of all messed up, people sitting up and doing some work. So like the typical network operations team, they work like there's a lot of chaos there, and a lot of shouts and all going on. So currently they are working on a severity one, like SAN failure, which is the storage at a network failure. And Bill and Wes and Patty are looking into that issue, sitting and talking about that. And suddenly Bill moves to them, and then okay, they ask if they have some time to discuss about this payroll issue. And he's currently looking at the situation and thinking, okay, this is the payroll issue, something seems to not match, the priority and the urgency of a SAN failure. So still he goes and he asks if they have some time to discuss about this payroll issue, and which is coming directly from Steve and Dick Landry, to which Wes and Patty, they are okay with it to discuss further what is this issue. So they move forward to Patty's office, and then they're thinking about uh, what is this payroll issue is about, and if the SAN failure, that is the storage and network failure, is causing this failure, the payroll failure itself, and both the issues are linked to each other. So to which yeah, also the West is not happy with the Bill's promotion. He wants that, okay, he wants some explanation from Steve that how come Steve has appointed him as the VP of the IT operations, and he's not happy. To which Bill happily says, okay, I'm okay to step down if you are willing to do this opportunity, but we have to go and talk to Steve about this. So now they get into the issue that there was a SAN upgrade which happened yesterday, and maybe due to that the failure has happened, and after that there is no data coming in. And Brent, who is working with Dick, is currently looking into this SAN issue. And Penn works for Wes, as in his middle of the project, and he mostly works on the major IT issues, and definitely a smart guy. And Bill was actually Brent was working from here. We get to know that Brent was working on some Phoenix project, which is the main theme of this book, and he was got into this SAN issue just on top priority, so that he'll look into that. The Phoenix project was some ask of some Sarah, who is the SVP of retail operations, who wanted the Phoenix project work to get carried on, but they pull Brent out of that, and he's now working into this SAN failure issue, and which they think maybe that's causing the payroll failure also. So they are discussing on how and where they can get into the situation, and they can sort the issue, and to which what is the name of it? Patty says that okay, they can move to Brent's office and they can discuss there, and to which Bill says we can keep Brent on the SAN issue, and I'll talk to Sarah and I'll handle that Phoenix project issue. And because the payroll issue was like widespread, and that was the top priority. So now they decide to go to Brent, who is working on the issue right now. So they go and see what he's thinking of what the issue looks like. So kind of a situation where now they have identified, they are in the middle of identifying the issue, which whether the SAN upgrade has caused this issue, and they are now going to meet Brent, who is working on this issue. So that ends the chapter 2. So now they are maybe they are on a phase where they can, maybe next chapters I assume that the author might disclose us what the issue is, and he might bring us the exact root cause of the issue. So that ends chapter 2. We don't have think with the TJ now, who was going to deliver chapter 3, but I think we can stop here, and we can maybe we can have a quiz run by Animesh, and then we can have some insights from Girish on this chapter 2. Yeah, I think do we have any questions around this? Hello?
No question from my end.
Okay, I think then over to you, Animesh. We can go ahead with the quiz.
Okay.
So one thing, like as we planned chapter 3 and 4 also today, and so TJ is not here. So do we have any other way that we can cover these chapters?
I think we are planning only chapter 2 and 3, because given the time we have 10-15 minutes, we are planning for one chapter. So we were thinking of just looking at the time we have, we're thinking of just getting 2 chapters. So I think it would not be correct to skip chapter 3 and go for chapter 4. So
Yes.
if someone
Okay.
can cover chapter 3 quickly in 10-12 minutes, maybe we can cover that. Anyone volunteering for chapter 3?
Or what we can do is we can discuss on that collectively. So somebody can just go through it, or I would just share my screen and we'll try to cover that chapter also.
So I think if you have read it once, then maybe you can explain the flow. But if you not read it, right, it will be difficult. So if someone has read chapter 3, maybe they can quickly summarize that.
Yeah, I have read that, so I can do that.
Yeah,
part.
I think then maybe you can start then, Shweb.
Yeah. Okay. Let me share my screen then.
Yeah, sure.
Just give me a minute.
So Shoaib, how
So I think I don't have access to share the screen. So Abdul, if you can make me host.
Yeah, done. I made you host now. Check now.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, before that, Animesh, you were telling something. Maybe you can
No,
go
I
ahead.
was just saying that the quiz that I had created, I did not create it for all the chapters, unfortunately. My
Okay.
apologies. I created it for chapter number 2. So do we want to do it now or do we want to do it after Shoaib finishes chapter 3?
Okay. I think we should roll out this quiz now, and then we can go ahead with chapter 3.
Yeah,
If that's
correct.
fine.
Is that okay?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
that's fine.
All right. Shoaib,
Over to you, Animesh.
thank you, Dipti. Shoaib, I'm really sorry to keep you waiting, buddy.
No issues.
That is the public opinion. And
Yes, it's absolutely fine.
it's power, right?
It will connect better, right? I think.
Yes, yes. At least
Okay.
we'll have some.
So definitely, I cannot do good justice to what Sarfaraz has shared with us. So thank you, Sarfaraz, so much for taking us through chapter 2. In your chat, you will see a link coming to join the Menti quiz. Okay, and for those of you who are using phone and they want to join quiz from phone, I will share the code also with you in the chat.
So if possible, can you share this link on our group that we have on WhatsApp? That would be easy for us to just open from there.
You mean on the WhatsApp group, right?
Yes.
Why not?
Yeah, thank you.
The code for that www.menti.com, and I'll also share the link. Okay, so here is the link also. Great, thank you for the ask. Okay, so now this is a test for you, Sarfaraz. Oh, host has disabled participants from sharing screen. Why did you do that to me?
No, I didn't do that. Just let me check again, because what happened?
Okay. Is my quiz so boring?
Not- I think got okay. Made you co-host now. Yeah.
You made me the co-host now? Oh yes, I can share my screen. Okay, we have 4 people joining. Are these, and there is 5th one who has joined us now. Can you see my screen? Yes. Is there anyone who is facing challenges joining the quiz? I will take the silence as no. Should we start the quiz? Yes?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So let us see. Are you all checked in? Are you ready to go? Fastest fingers first, okay? So first question coming your way is this. Which employees, okay, pardon me with my grammar, which employees went missing in the payroll? All of you are right. Hourly employees' records were missing. The records for salaried employees still remain intact. So there was something conspicuous or something that went wrong conspicuously about the hourly employees. Right. Okay, good job. So the leaderboard won't show up now. It will be at the last to save time. Okay, so no one
So
knows.
Animesh, do we have only 4 people participating in the quiz?
I think so. Is there anybody who is remaining to join? Who is missing here? There were 5 people who joined, but only 4 people responded, is what I said.
Yeah.
I think I missed it.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Something
Anyone
is on
else?
the-
Yeah, anyone else
phone.
who is yet to join? Maybe we can take 15-20 seconds pause if you need some help.
Even on the phone, then I don't know what I'm doing.
What happens, Aditi? Anything, maybe Animesh or I can help with?
So I have joined through WhatsApp link.
Uh-huh.
I'll be able to see the question there as well, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You will see the question on your phone. So focus on your phone only.
Okay. Okay, great. So
Yeah,
we
I'm
can,
with you now.
yeah, we can go ahead and Adipti, the moment Animesh says that, yeah, here goes the next question. Maybe you'll have to go to that device. There you will see this question as well as you will be able to respond.
So Dipti, I'm going to give you a benefit of.
Correct. Huh. ठीक है, okay.
So this time, while everybody knows the answer, I will still give a chance to fastest finger first. Okay, so whoever is the fastest can answer the fastest. Now we already know this answer, so let's see. So sorry for the person who did win last time, but nobody knows. So records for which employees went missing in the hourly payroll in the last payroll. Hourly employees. Yeah. Time's up. Okay, 5 of you have answered it correct now, right? Great. Next question. Thank you, Girish, for noticing that Dipti was struggling. And okay, let's see what the question is. Why is it so complex? Why is the tax calculation so, or the salary calculation so complex? Yeah, because tax tables and labor laws are different for different states. And that's why Anne and her friend, who was there from a local auditing company, who were trying to draw some flowcharts and try to analyze how they can fix the issue, they were saying that it is what we can do, but it's really, really complex. That's why we cannot go that route. And the best way we can do is plan B. Now, what is plan B? Let us see.
Yeah. Hey, Animesh, just one observation. Looks like you are sharing your screen and it has frozen on the first question itself.
Okay, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, no problem.
Thank you again. Is it
Mhm.
visible now?
Yes, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. The next thing is coming your way. Question 3 of 5. What were those numbers that appeared on the worked hours and amount dues fields? Something that was pulled out of the system. What were those numbers? Everything appeared in zeros. Wow, I think Sarfaraz, you did an excellent job explaining. And also, all of those who were reading are reading it really, really well. So yes, they were all zeros. And something was really, really terrible there because they were coming in zeros. Now, why were they coming in zeros? We don't know that. That will come in the next chapter, maybe chapter number 3 that Shoaib is going to share. But let us see what else do we have that was really important to notice in this chapter. They came up with an awesome plan B, right? Now everybody has a plan B. What that plan B was, is it true or false? It is a true statement. They were planning to pay the employees based on what their previous records were. That is the closest they could get because that is what is assumed, right? If you are working something like what you are working this week, maybe you are working the same way in the previous week or the previous month. There isn't much, there cannot be a lot of differences. What? Management thing. That's why they thought this is something that they could do. But there was a serious issue with this plan, and there was a risk. And what was that risk is the last question. There were 3 risks that were identified.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Endangering company security. Well, there was no security threat. Maybe there was a labor union that could come and physically beat you up. That was the threat. So it was a physical threat, maybe for Dick, as he was really scared about the labor union. But there were no bank overheads also because the electronic pay cut was going to happen at 5 p.m. Right? So there was no bank overhead. What was really missing, or what was at risk, along with guessing on what people's checks were and paying people who were terminated, right? What if they're terminated and they still get their salary? They're not going to give it back to you. So the thing that was missing and that was at risk are what about those new people who have joined your organization, right? And everybody in the United States, at least, or in developed countries, they live paycheck by paycheck, or even in our country for that matter, right? We have a lot of things to take care of. We have mortgages, we have our car loans, we have our groceries that we need to buy. And everything, if that is delayed, then everything goes for a toss. Your credit scores go, and that is what they were worried about. So yeah, so that was the quiz. And thank you for participating. I could only bring in 5 questions for this because to save some time and to give Shoaib more time. Since Sarfaraz has prepared this, he was the one who did the best job. So good job, Sarfaraz. I think you won the quiz even last time, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Still holding on.
No matter how.
Hello, can you hear me?
All right, not to take your credit from you, but congratulations, good job. Okay, over to you, Shoaib. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, thank you. Let me start sharing mine.
Mushtaq, did I take this time? Keep me honest here.
I mean, Sarfraz, in favor of time, please try to finish, I mean, within 10 to 15 minutes. So we
Yeah.
can discuss.
Correct. So we are planning to wrap up at 3:15. So yeah, start now, take 10-12 minutes, and then we can end up with the
Then that
discussion.
time only, because this is what I've just read it.
Yeah, go ahead, Shoaib.
You know, if somebody else might have gone through it, we can discuss it.
Yeah.
Or if I might have missed something important, we can discuss that thing also.
Hey, Shoaib, before you start, is it okay if I take like just 20 seconds of your time?
Yeah.
Small group, right? And whenever we meet, and it is better if we are able to look at each other. So not now, but if possible, next time, will it be okay if you make yourself camera present? Because that is how we can get closest to the conversation. Otherwise we lose. Like right now I'm able to look at Girish, I'm able to get those visual cues, and I'm able to connect better. So if Girish was presenting, I would be able to focus on him much better. So nothing that goes away, but it adds a lot to it.
Sure, Animesh.
That's what I wanted to. Thank you so much. Go ahead, sure. I won't interrupt.
Yeah, sure, Animesh. Okay, so still we are on first day of um, in the new job, and we are on the Tuesday, September 2. And in continuation from the chapter 2, now our main character is following Patty and Vas, and they are just going to meet Brent. So so they just reached his cabin, and Wes asked Brent, right, to have a minute, and without seeing it, he said, yeah, actually, I'm kind of busy right now, and he's working on some SAN issue. So they told him that basically they are here to discuss on that particular issue only, and so they wanted to understand what exactly he knew about that particular issue. So he started explaining that yesterday he was helping one of the SAN engineer perform the firmware upgrade after everybody went home, and it took way longer than they thought, and nothing went according to TechNote. And after some time it got very bad, and finally they finished that particular thing around 7 o'clock in the morning. And when they rebooted the LAN, all the self-tests started failing, and they worked it for about 15 minutes trying to figure out what went wrong. And that's when we got an email about the payroll run failure. That's the main issue that currently they are working on. So what exactly the thing is, there were many versions behind the SAN one that probably never tested the upgrade path they were going on, and he informed this particular thing to his lead also. So this particular updates were there for a very long time, and it was supposed to be done, but it never got updated. And so that's one of the things that happened with this particular organization. There were a lot of updates on the on that particular firmware, but many of them were not. They were not able to, do that update with, go ahead with it. So while they were having this particular conversation with Brent, so they got a call from Anne, and Anne was actually looking what exactly went wrong with that particular system, and she came up with something. She just looked at the data for the last payroll, and she found out one interesting thing, that the social security numbers of the employees. So all the fields, all their are works and wages fields are zero, and the security numbers for the are complete gibberish. So these are the, all junks values were available in social security numbers, and their hours worked and wages fields are zero. So this was one of the issue. So this was one of the suspicious, that why these fields are junk and what exactly happened. So now they are considering this as a very important clue about this particular investigation, and they wanted to understand, key, why this particular thing happened, and why all these social security numbers are in junk values or gibberish. So then Brent say that we are aware of the problem. We are working on it. Okay, so they're still thinking ki why only one field in the database that is being corrupt, and so they just thought that this is not like a SAN failure which originally they were working on, and this is something else that's going on. So okay, so now what Brent remember is, yesterday a developer for the timekeeping application called him, and with a strange question about the database structure. So what exactly database structure? And he was in middle of something important. He was working on the Phoenix test virtual machines, and so he gave him a very quick answer, and he got back to the work. So okay, so actually the Brent was in some another call, so he just um, uh, okay, so Bill in that particular call introduced himself, and he just announced his new role, and he just asked that does anyone know about a developer making any changes to the timekeeping application. So this is a main application they use in the factories to uh, to record the hours that are being worked by all the employees. So they just wanted to understand if then somebody knew about any changes they have done in this particular application. So one particular person, from this one was okay. Yeah, I was helping someone who was having some connectivity issue with the plant. I'm pretty sure it was a okay. So some developer was maintaining the timekeeping application. He was installing some security application that John needed to get up. So John is the information security officer. So and he was thinking the Max is the developer. He was working on that particular application, and it's John's requirement for that particular change. So it's like a developer jumping in an urgent change so he could go on vacation. So okay, and another thing was Max was planned for a vacation, so he wanted to get this particular change done as soon as possible. And now what they have done is they, after it's given about why exactly that particular issue, space hacker. Okay, so this is about the information security team, why what sort of changes they come up with and what reasons they gave it, the reasons why everything will create a security hole and the alien space hacker will exploit the exploit organization steal or their code intellectual property, credit card details. So now what they are doing is, okay, so now the SAN is no longer a issue for them, and now they understood it. This is the particular issue is not about the SAN. This is something have to be. This should be something what this Max developer might have done. So they just wanted to understand what exactly this issue is. So because they have to fix this issue by 3 p.m. So okay, so the first thing is they wanted to understand from John, who is the information security officer, what exactly they what he wanted as a change and what he asked a developer to do. So the following conversation is about Bill and the Bill and about the John, and he was just okay, yeah. So this conversation about the Bill and John, he just say he has requested the timekeeping application and he has not requested for any mid-range. So still he is not aware about his promotion and the details. And all the following conversation is about that, and they were just discussing what exactly happened, why those two people left. And so to keep it short, I will just directly come to the point that. What exactly okay, still okay, yeah. So he asked here about Max. We had an urgent audit issue around a storage of P2, and that's a personal identifiable information. Okay, so basically there was some requirement from the US states law that prohibits this particular organization to store this personal security number. So they marked it as uh, sensitive information. So to fix this issue, they basically found a product to tokenize this application, and they no longer have to store this particular data with them. So they just try to fix this particular issue with that particular application. So what they have done is John was very certain that this particular product will work, and he asked directly the developer to deploy these changes and make the changes to the production. So what they have done is they do not test that particular application, and they have directly deployed that code to the production. So meanwhile, the Patty asked Ki, why you have done that way, because we have a processes and procedure for how you introduce changes into the production. But you went around them, and once again, you caused a big problem that we are having to repair. Why didn't you follow the process? So basically, they have the processes and they have the procedures how to make the changes, but still this particular change was done without following them, just because that particular developer was about to go for a leave and this changes was urgent. So okay, so again, they did not test the changes, that there is no test environment, and the guy requested, and this is the story about. So Okay, so on this particular thing, I don't know the character. Okay, yeah, Patty. Patty said ki we need more process around here, better to support from the top, including IT, tooling, and the training. Everyone thinks that the real way to get work done is to just do it. That's make my job nearly impossible. So he's just telling his story and the pain point. Everybody wants their job to be done very quickly, and they're not following the processes. In previous work experience, everybody used to follow that. Everybody used to tell what exactly going to be come up and what changes they are planning. So okay, so he asked ki if we have any change management or change advisory. Okay, so he say ki you are the change manager and you should be doing all these changes. So he explained ki we have tried things before also, and we they have organized change management or change advisory meetings before. But what used to happen is people used to come once or twice, and within a couple of weeks, people stop attending these meetings, saying that considering this meeting as not important and they are too busy. So and they used to deploy the changes without due to deadline pressure, and just the things will never work after 1 month. So yeah, so this is the story, and then finally they go to the home. He's telling about his back end, what happened at his house and details. So I will just skip that. And but finally the concluding part of this chapter is they were not able to meet that deadline. At least they were able to pinpoint what exactly the root cause of the issue was, but they were not able to solve this issue in the timely manner. And next day the press release was all about which they were afraid of. And yeah, so yeah, I think that's the concluding part of it, that they were not able to make all those changes, and a lot of um, uh, press release was there to highlight all that labor they were afraid of the things. Yeah, I think I took more time on this chapter because I was not prepared. I just wanted to get it covered. And hopefully I think we have 15 minutes, we can cover, we can discuss on this thing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Shiv, for stepping up. And last minute, I know it was tough, and the chapters are huge and takes time to cover. Yeah, good job. Yeah, so I think over to you, Girish. Maybe we can sum up what we have discussed on the chapters 2 and 3. And if you have any
Not sure.
views from others.
Wanted to participate here. Nice job.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So nice job done by both Suhaib and Sarfraj. So not only just reading, but yes, definitely you helped us understand the story further. That what happens after chapter 1. So before we go into maybe any conclusion or anything else, just wanted to check that have we all been able to read first 3 chapters, or someone still maybe yet to get time?
I have read 2 chapters, not the third one. I have to do it. Maybe I'll do it today.
Okay, great.
I've read all 3 chapters.
All 3 chapters.
Yeah, I'm running 5th actually. So I just had a question for Girish in terms of like, if we have moved further, then how do you create that interest to hold on for this session?
Okay, sure. Okay, good. So definitely, I think yeah, we all have our individual pace to read, as well as
Correct.
how far we can go, and
Correct.
that I think I would say is an advantage that we can think of capitalize on. So one thing to remember again, those who have read maybe 4th, 5th, or 6th chapter will be able to connect again very quickly that what is going to happen next, right? But that's where we will have to keep telling ourselves that maybe our colleagues Our team members might not have reached there. So maybe yeah, even though I'm able to connect, how do I keep myself maybe just to these three chapters or maybe just to these 4 chapters?
One more
Okay.
thing, sorry to interrupt. What
No problem. Go ahead.
I have noticed is, I also read the chapter 4 and 5. So, but when I'm revising this chapter 2 and 3, I'm able to get more insight from these chapters.
Yeah, of course,
Right.
correct. Correct.
So I have
Absolutely.
thought in that way when reading it, but after reading the chapter 4 and 5 and then coming back to chapter 2, I was able to get more things, what exactly the issues and the things
Right.
they are going
Right.
to discuss.
Absolutely. I agree. And that was the same thing. I think I was just was planning to say that those who have read maybe more chapters, for you will feel that maybe there is a quick recap. I'm able to connect maybe from where it is coming. So even if I'm in the 5th or 6th chapter, now I know what was the story behind it.
Mm.
Okay, so that could very well happen. So no worries. Even if you have gone further with a couple of chapters, I think absolutely fine. No worries. And even if you are running with the maybe what we are deciding, even that way is also good. Yeah, both ways we are good. Okay, great. How many of us are finding maybe this story interesting? That makes you feel that I should keep reading more. Okay, I could see 2 hands going up.
3
So maybe
hands.
others will have to, 3 hands. Others will have to speak or maybe at least give some signal. Okay, great. Sarfraz, Mustaq, Soheb. Okay, so everyone looks like that. Everyone feels that, yeah, this book is generating some interest, right?
Mm.
Okay, great. But any insights still in the Deos? We are here to learn about the Deos team.
I can feel I read the chapter 4, so I'm not going to spoil the things for others. But yeah, it's coming up. So I just made an org structure. So definitely, I think that would be helpful for us to come up. So I will just share that particular thing, and in background we can discuss that thing.
Sure,
Sure.
sure. Thank you, sir, for coming up with that.
So yeah, so if you
Okay,
can see
great.
my screen. I'm just trying
Yeah.
to, put the character in this particular org structure. So I can now sense, okay, this is the team that is going to fight. One is IT operation and the development team. So yeah.
Yes. Great. Okay. And what happens to Bill? Uh, how many angles or how many parts of the stories are you able to clearly visualize and stick to? So if you have to be Bill, what all you are talking about? Just a company life, or you feel that life even beyond company walls does come into play?
Company hours, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. Very
Company
much it is
hours as well
there.
as company walls, right?
Correct. Yeah, both are there, right?
Yes.
It doesn't limit because as a person, you are one, whether you are with the family after office hours, with family, with colleagues.
Yeah.
So you will have to be connected because you are finally one.
Absolutely. Yep.
Mm.
So if you really look at maybe with Parts Unlimited, right? Parts Unlimited, what is going on with the Parts Unlimited? How competition is picking up? What is
Yep.
happening to Parts Unlimited stocks? The pressure from the boards as well as shareholders to restructure or to change the leadership team.
Mm.
There's so much pressure, so much going on. Maybe the 2 senior leaders fired. So definitely not good to have any kind of situation. And then
Mm.
this poor guy who has never thought that he will be in charge of his department
Mm.
steps into one fine day into the office and he comes to know that he's in full charge of the things. Uh, the moment that happens, yeah, maybe, and it could be very rare scenarios where someone is getting promotion, but someone is still thinking whether I should take it or not.
Take it or not. Mm.
Right? So that kind of dilemma he is into, right? And yeah, with his CEO maybe convincing him, getting him into the job. Now we can see that what that person is going through. So at
Hmm.
one side, maybe he knows how much things are messed up when it comes to the outside market, what is happening to the company's products, services, stock
Hmm.
price, as well as the overall existence is at the stake,
Brand. Hmm.
right? At the same time, maybe other companies are picking up uh, with a lot of things. His bosses are fired. Now this
Hmm.
guy is into the new job. Now after getting into the job, the next thing was maybe he was expecting is a formal announcement so that everyone in company knows about
Hmm.
what his new role is. That has not yet
Which
happened,
is
right?
not happening.
Which is not yet happening. So this poor guy may be roaming around here and there, just trying to tackle with the situation. But no one knows who this guy is, and maybe he himself is trying to tell everyone or maybe getting everyone on board that what has happened, and all those things are going. So situation is turning out right now a little bit messier,
Hmm.
uh, and maybe yeah, on the first day of your promotion, can we imagine you getting into such kind of a issue of payroll, right?
Hmm.
Where again it can have a fine, it can have a legal implications, and you have been given a charge that go ahead and solve it. You don't know anything, and when you go on the ground, you see that maybe people are going through on their own challenges right now. No one cares about it this right, because
Hmm.
there is no connection. So maybe there are several departments, people are talking about their own thing. IT is talking about the operations is blaming IT, and all that mess up is happening, right? So definitely not a good situation to be in. And after that, he misses the deadline.
Hmm.
Misses the deadline. Now whatever was not supposed to happen, unfortunately, has happened. And on top of it, maybe even he has missed a crucial personal event as well. So we'll see how the story comes up from here,
Hmm.
and what happens to Mr. Bill and Parts Unlimited. Right, so many characters involved.
Yes.
Maybe some crucial people getting stuck or getting pulled in multiple directions.
Hmm.
There is one crucial project called Phoenix that can pull the company from that darkness towards a new hope. But right now everything is messed up, and maybe finding very difficult to keep the things moving on any front.
Hmm.
So yeah, we can see from from here now where the things go. Okay.
Yeah. Got a lot of responsibilities.
Yeah,
Yet to get the title, authority.
absolutely.
Though promotion is from CEO, but the whole world other than CEO and those HR people, nobody knows.
And who cares, right?
And who cares? Correct.
Who cares? Because yeah, now everyone knows.
Only CEO has given promotion, and CEO has a lot of expectations from him.
Right. Everyone else is just, yeah, maybe. So right now, just blame game is about to get starting. So we have just seen that what is the situation. Maybe many other aspects of the corporate world. Uh, what we call it as a kind of a even corporate politics. I don't
Politics.
know whether it is going to come in or not, but we will see as we go ahead. We will see what happens to Mr. Bill
Bill.
Palmer and with the overall Parts Unlimited. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, great. So again, still there is a no DevOps connection yet. So I'm sorry for that. I believe we picked up DevOps as a theme, but no one is talking about DevOps, right? We will see in the rest of the book if something on that front pops up.
Sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
We're at least talking about development and operations.
And operations.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
That terminology is slowly getting in.
Yeah, right. Let's see how it
I've been
goes.
Max so many times in my life, so I can relate to what when my one leg was in my vacation and one leg was in the code, and the code that I created that went for vacation before I could go there. So
Right.
definitely.
But just
Code
going
went
through,
for
yeah.
vacation. That is a nice.
But just going through the all the scenarios or what maybe authors have been able to help us visualize. Do you feel that in your career so far, uh, have you experienced or have you heard of these things anytime?
Multiple times.
Yeah, absolutely. Multiple
Yeah,
times. Yeah,
yeah.
that's correct.
So maybe authors are not talking about some hypothetical situation, but when maybe they're talking about the real world, right?
I think the authors itself are IT people only.
Uh,
So they're able to relate situations.
Absolutely. Yep.
So it is a fictional, but something maybe real fictional in of IT world.
Right. That's true.
But you start to feel like you are Bill. Like when you're reading this, okay. So because situations have happened in your life also, similar to what Bill is facing right now. So you kind of try to correlate that stuff. So it's like you are reading and you are the Bill of that particular book, and you're reading that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think majority of us, if not all, we are at that maybe stage of the career, right? So maybe 2 years plus minus, where we are in the role of frontline leaders for our teams, where and maybe yeah, we generally face this situation a lot of times, right? So there is a lot of expectation from the below. So when we say below, from the teams in terms
Right.
of support and maybe all those things, and there is a that equal amount of pressure from top as well,
Top.
right? And what do we have as an empowerment or maybe power to work,
Only English
right?
words.
Yes. So getting
We
stretched, right?
we
Getting
call it,
stretched,
yeah, in my friend circle we call that like it's only English.
right? So those middle management or the front line leaders, I think yes.
Right.
So Bill is one of those guys. I think he's just going through that, and maybe he's helping us to learn that, how to go through it. So we'll see what we learned. Yeah,
Sure.
Okay, so I think we're already running late, so we only have 5 minutes to wrap up.
yeah,
So
sure.
I'll stop the recording.